Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today with a video that lots of you asked, so I'm doing it. This is going to be me telling you guys what I'm putting in my little diamond painting travel kit. So if you follow the channel, you know that we are getting ready for an upcoming move to Canada. And while we are traveling, because it is quite a drive, it's going to take us at least 3 days, maybe 4, to drive where we're going, because we are going to Atlantic Canada. I'm going to be taking some diamond painting to do with me in the car. I recently unboxed some Make Market mini kits that I am going to be doing on the drive, hopefully. Sometimes in the car, perhaps also in the hotel room, who knows. I have a Landmarks mini kit, and I kitted that one up. So you saw me in a previous video kit up the drills into that box. So I'm going to have a kit of tools, and then I also have a bag. So basically I just have this old bag that I had sitting around. It's like a shoulder bag. It doesn't hold a ton of things, but it will fit all of my diamond painting stuff. So that's where my diamond painting stuff is going to live. If I want to take it into the hotel with me, I can grab this bag. If I just want to leave it in the car, I can leave it in the car. So in addition to the bottle case that has all of the drills for both sets of canvases, the Landmarks and the Succulents, I will also be taking a few other things. So I will, of course, be taking my logbook with everything. So I've already printed out pages for the 2 canvases that I'm going to be doing. If you would like a copy of the Diamond Painting Logbook, you can find it on my channel. It is available for free download, and you just print it out on regular paper. So that will go in my little tote bag as well. And then I also have this little, I originally got this to keep small, like the Succulents and Paint Gem minis in, but I have since moved on to using it to hold all of my different cover sheets. So here's all my different release papers that I have. So this will go in there as well. So if I need to use any of those to put on the canvases while I'm working on them, I shouldn't, they're minis, but just in case, and just to keep all my diamond painting stuff together, it's all going to go in there. So then as far as tools, what am I taking with me? I am taking putty, although I will confess, I'm not going to be using the putty as much. I have been using, of course, my glue dots, which are just the little dots of glue. This is, I think, my 3rd year of using this, and it hasn't run out yet, so these last me forever. So glue dots, glue lines, because I have been using these in my multi-placers, and they actually work really well, so I'm going to be using those. So that's kind of all the sticky stuff that I'm going to be using. I'm also going to take my pretty placer. I don't use this a ton anymore. Essentially, this is just a wax crayon, and I have a sharpener for it, as well as anytime I have shavings from it, I will save those because I could use it to load in my pens. I will keep this. I used to use the pretty placer all the time for my ABs when I was placing my ABs. However, the glue dots work a lot better. What I found when I was using the pink wax with ABs was that a lot of times the wax could pull off the AB coating, so then you're just left with a regular drill. Rather than get frustrated with pulling my ABs off, I started using the glue dots. The glue dots work a lot better, but before that I was using the pretty placer for the AB. So I just keep it. It's the only one I have left. I bought 2 or 3, I think, originally, but I've had this for several years and it's still good to go. I'm going to take a little pair of scissors just in case I need to cut labels or cut open some bags of extra drills, whatever I need. Of course, I need a tray. Now, this is my smallest tray, so this is the one I grabbed. I may also be adding in one of my cat-proof trays that has a lid, just because it's a little easier to use. However, this tray has a nice pour spout, and because I'm going to be working on very small canvases, it doesn't have to be very big. It doesn't have to hold a huge amount of drills. Or I could just work directly from the containers if I want to do that. We'll see what happens. I typically do pour them out into a tray, so I'm planning on taking the tray. And then I have a couple of pins. I have these plus a couple more, so I'll have a total of 4 pins that I've picked. So all of them will have glue dots loaded in my single placers. And then like right now, this one still has putty in the multi-placer. This one is empty. I'll load those up both probably with glue dots. A couple of toothpicks, just because sometimes digging out the putty or the glue dots is easier with the toothpicks than it is using a pair of tweezers. I do have a pair of tweezers. These I'm keeping because they're rounded on the end. So these are pretty nice. These are from Diamond Painting Deutschland. I will also be taking another pair of just the regular pokey black tweezers as well. I didn't have a bag to put these in, so I originally was just going to use like a Ziploc bag because it's long enough that it should have fit my diamond painting pens. And if it will fit the pins, that's the longest thing. But putting scissors in a Ziploc bag, that was going to poke holes. The toothpicks could possibly poke holes. So hubby and I happened to be at Target, and I basically just went and found a very inexpensive pencil bag. And this is what I'm going to be putting everything in. So I'm going to put all the tools in one, and then I will put all of the putty and everything else in the back one so that I have everything ready and accessible for me to diamond paint on the go. Like I said, I could have chosen to use a Ziploc baggie. I just thought because of the scissors and everything, I would get something that was a little more sturdy, I guess, to put everything in. And then all I got to do is zip it up and everything is contained and ready to go for my travel trip. Now, I probably will, this will be a bit bulgier than it is now, but then everything can just slide into my little tote bag. So I'll have my little tote bag. I'll have my tools here. I will have my bottle case of drills with all of the pieces and parts for that in there. I will have my cover sheets and all of that good stuff. And then I will have my logbook. And then that is my little travel diamond painting kit. I did have some people comment that they also have very small light pads because you can use the light pad kind of as a lap desk. So it's a stiff thing that you can put your canvas on while you're diamond painting. I typically had a lap desk or something, and I don't use a light pad, so I don't know quite how this is going to work out for me. Maybe I'll just use my book. Maybe I'll use my iPad and use that as the thing on my lap and then put my diamond paintings on top of that. The canvases are pretty small, so I think I could get away with that. But some of it is also play by ear. Like I said, I don't use a light pad, so I don't have any interest in having a small light pad. There'll be plenty of light coming in through the car. I typically only diamond paint during the day if we're going to be driving at night or something, which we typically won't do. But if we were going to be driving through the night, then I just wouldn't diamond paint. We'll have my iPad, so I'll have other things to occupy me. I read, I play games, we listen to podcasts. So we have lots of things to keep us occupied while we're making the trip. But diamond painting is very calming for me. I do not like crowds. I do not like rush hour traffic. My husband is going to be doing all the driving because we are hauling a trailer full of our stuff. But driving in rush hour traffic in some of the big cities that we have to drive through is not fun. My anxiety goes through the roof. And so having something like this along so that I could pull something out, I just unzip it, reach in here. I've got my canvas ready to go. I could even use this as a desk. Pull out a couple of the colors that I need, my tray, my pen, and I'm good to go with just this sitting on my lap. And then I'm able to focus on this rather than focus on all the crazy drivers that seem like they're going to be ramming into us at any moment because they need to cross 4 lanes of traffic to get to an exit. We live in the middle of nowhere. We very rarely have traffic. The town I live in doesn't even have a true stoplight. It's just a 4-way stoplight. So yeah, this is partly for my sanity and partly for my husband's, because this way I'm not making him crazy. If I'm concentrating on this, I'm not flinching or stepping on an imaginary brake or grabbing the handle or whatever because I'm anxious about all of the traffic. So it's just better all around if I have something to occupy my time. I had lots of you who said that you didn't think that you would be able to diamond paint in the car, that it would make you nauseous. But I do not get car sick generally. I read in the car. I can diamond paint in the car. I have discovered, however, I have to be facing forward. If I'm sitting sideways trying to read, that makes me nauseous in a car. But if I'm facing forward like you should be in the seat, then it generally doesn't bother me. And I have, on previous trips, diamond painted both on an airplane and in the car, so I think I will be fine. So leave me a comment down below and let me know if I covered everything that you would need in a travel kit if you were going to diamond paint while you traveled, or if I've forgotten something. Like I said, I know a lot of people said that they would take light pads. I don't ever use one in my day-to-day diamond painting, so I don't need it in my travel kit either. But if there's anything else that you think, oh gosh, that's a must-have for me, leave me a comment and let me know. I hope this video was informative. Since I had so many of you ask for it, I decided just to go ahead and get it done. Also because I'm in the process of packing everything up and trying to sort out what I would need so I would have it available to me in the car versus everything else that still needs to get packed. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.